Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator. And today I have another guest episode for you. We've got Liz Bussey from Glow Lashes in Canada, and her and I talked all about becoming a lash educator or trainer. I feel like there are a lot of people who are interested in this right now, especially in the last year or so. I've seen it talked about a lot more. And I wanted to talk about it on the podcast in case it's something that you're ever interested in, if it's on your goals list or it's something that you want to be doing in the next year or two. You're going to want to listen to this one because she shares so much insight for us and has so much experience with this. So let me give you a little bit of background on her. So Liz is from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, where she runs a professional home lash studio and academy. She is a mama to 2 sweet children and loves being out in nature to help stay grounded. Liz started her lash career in 2012 and held her first class in 2016, and she's since made it her mission to provide excellent training to other aspiring lash artists. Health and safety is a top priority in her practice, as well as teaching her students the importance of maintaining the health of the natural lash. Liz has been awarded Lash Integrity in 2019 and Lash Artist of the Year 3 years in a row from 2018 to 2020 by NALA, the National Association of Lash Artists. She has competed in numerous live lash competitions since 2015, being awarded first place in the classic category at Lash Wars Las Vegas in 2016 and silver and gold at the RCLC Live Lash Competition in 2018. Last year, Liz had the privilege of being a judge for the Skin Games Lash Competition, and this year, Liz is launching her new program, POLA, Principles of Lash Artistry for Lash Artists, and we're going to be talking about this in the episode as well. So this is for lash artists who want to become educators. She's partnered with NALA, the National Association of Lash Artists, to offer a certified educator training program that will be included with her Done For You education program to be held in Vernon, BC. It is the ultimate solution for talented lash artists who want to take the next step in their lash career with proven content and delivery. And you guys, she is so passionate about this. You can literally feel it through the microphone. She's got such great energy. She was so much fun to talk to. We had a blast. I think I have not laughed during an episode this much in a long time. So I'm just really excited for you to listen in. And yeah, without further ado, let's just jump on into it. Well, welcome to Lash Biz Babes. First, I would just love for you to introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do in the industry.
Hi, so I am Liz Bussey. I live in the Okanagan Valley in Canada, British Columbia, Canada, and I am a lash artist. I've been a lash artist since 2012. I was thinking about this the other day, and I almost said 2011, but I'm pretty sure it's 2012.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I've been an educator since 2016. I held my first class in January of 2016. I have competed a bunch and I love attending events. Yeah, I just love everything lashes.
I mean, you've won some awards and things too, right? Like, which ones have you won? I'm like, I can't remember all of them because you had a few, I think.
Yeah, I like it's cringy talking about it, but
No,
you're right. It is important.
I want to know, like, I want to hear it though. Like, let's hear it. Which ones have you won?
So I like lash competitions or industry awards?
Either or.
Okay. So I've won a couple lash competitions. I won Lash Wars, the classic category in 2016. It was not my first year competing though.
That's awesome.
The first year I was like, I'm just going to do this. I went to Vegas in 2014 and had taken my first volume training from a Russian artist. And I learned about Lash Wars because she was one of the judges. And I said to the girl I traveled with, awesome. I am coming back here next year and I'm going to try it. And she was like, yeah, that would make me vomit. And I'm like, yeah, me too, probably. But I think I'll learn a bunch.
I love it. It's such a good attitude to have.
Right? Oh, I learned so much that first trip, like meeting all the artists in 2015. People weren't sharing information.
No.
Like nothing was
absolutely not
open. And it was the first time I sat in this giant, I mean, it was at IBS. So people are like, there's hordes of people and they're watching you compete and you're like shaking like a leaf. But then afterward, you get to bond with all these other artists who are like also petrified. And then we all kind of did these like meetups. I met so many of my still current really good lash friends on that trip.
That's so amazing.
So I came back the next year. I was actually 6 months pregnant with my son and I competed in the classic one instead that time because I had already started teaching and I'd got a lot of really good feedback the year before, but I was like, you know what? I only had a classic course. So I thought I'm going to give the classics a try because I competed in volume the first year and I got really great feedback. So I'm like, I want feedback on my classics this time. And I ended up placing first and I met some more amazing lash friends who are still lash friends. And then I was going to do it in 2017, but then Lash Wars ended. They didn't keep going that year. And then there was a competition in Canada called Royal Canadian Lash Championships or Royal Canadian Lash Championships. And I placed gold and silver in that in classic and volume. And then that's how I was introduced to NALA. Because Levi was one of the sponsors there. And I had met her because I'd taken her Educator course.
Right.
Like the year before or 6 months before or whatever. But I really got to know more about them. And then someone submit my name for an industry award for Lash Artist of the Year because of that competition. And I won. And then I won again. Cool. And then again.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I won Lash Artist of the Year 3 years in a row, and I won Lash Artist Integrity, which I think means more because they're all industry awards, right? Someone has to nominate you, and it's usually someone in the industry because no one else would know about these, right?
Right.
And so those to me are like the really special ones because it's like someone thought enough of your work and of your business and kind of who you are in the lash industry to put your name up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to say, I mean, we just met this year, but I'm absolutely not surprised by any of that. Like just because of who you are and like how you show up on social media and how you show up for your students. Like, I just think you're incredible. So I'm not surprised and definitely deserved. So that's amazing. That's just really cool. And getting to make those connections throughout it too, even without winning the awards, I feel like just having those connections can make such a difference in your business and in your lashing and just like the friendships that you have in the industry, which is honestly life-changing in my experience. So
it's everything. It's why I kept going, right? Like it's, to me, award winning is like the last thing on the list, right? It's you're with everybody who is like passionate about the same things as you, and other lash artists are the only ones who understand kind of what we go through on a day-to-day basis, right? Like we're always with people, we're never alone, but it's like kind of a lonely art.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
especially when you're solo or you're working from home or you're in your own little room in the corner of the building, you know.
Totally.
I love it. So how did you get started as a lash artist?
Yeah. It was unintentional. It was completely unintentional. I was in the service industry for a really long time. I was server, bartender, manager, everything in restaurants. And then I just had enough. It was time for a change. And I started getting laser hair removal because I'm a hairy beast, or I used to be a hairy beast. Too much information. Anyway,
No,
oh, I
never.
love it. I'm never TM. Other people might think it's TMI, but
We share it all on this podcast.
right? So I started getting laser hair removal before my wedding, and it was life changing. And I was like, I want to do that. So I went down to Colorado and I took a laser course because, again, this was 2009, there wasn't very much around. And I came up and I convinced an owner here. There was only 2 laser clinics in my town. And I went into one of them and I convinced her that she had to hire me. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm not hiring. I'm like, it's okay, you will. And I went back like every month and I brought her a coffee at lunchtime. And I was like, are you ready to hire me yet?
No,
I pretty much
that's some
forced
dedication.
myself on her because I really did want out of restaurants and bars and I was looking for a change. So I started there. She did hire me and I loved doing laser hair removal. Like I loved it. I don't know what it was, just it makes kind of similar to lashes, right? You're doing a very kind of monotonous thing. It's very repetitive. You have to be very specific with your lines and like the way that you're tracing everything out. I don't know. It is similar.
Yeah, detail oriented.
Very detail oriented, if you're good at it. And then my boss came in one day and she said, hey, we're going to learn something new. We're going to do eyelash extensions. And I have really nice natural lashes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm good. No, thank you. And she said, no. You don't understand. Like, I'm going to pay for the training and there's someone that's going to come in and I think you should do this. And I said, oh yeah, no, kindly, no, thank you. And I went home and I told my husband and he was like, what are you doing? You like to learn new things. You do like to learn new things. So why would you not just go out of your comfort zone and learn this? And I was like, you're right. Okay, fine. So I went in the next day and I kind of, with a not attitude, but I was like, listen, I will take this class, but if I'm not good at this, if I suck, then I'm not going to continue to do it. And if she's like, if you suck, you're not allowed to do it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I was like, sweet, I like this. Perfect. So the class came up right away. She had booked it like right away. And again, this was 2012. So we had to convince people we had to tell them what lash extensions were, explain it, and then convince them why they needed it, right? It wasn't like everyone knows what it is and they're just coming to see you because, and on that first day I was holding the tweezers and we learned with pot lashes,
right?
Because there were no strip lashes yet available. Yep. They were just about to come out. But we learned with pot lashes and I was lining up those little lashes on the silicone pad. And I have a touch of OCD. Just a touch. So every single lash was perfectly spaced and like perfectly sitting straight up. And I was like, oh, I like this. It just kind of scratches an itch, right? Like it just did something for me. And the trainer came in and she said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were already doing lashes. Like, how long have you been doing lashes? I was like, I don't know. How long has it been? An hour? No. And so she's like, okay, I want to see what you're going to do on a person. And it wasn't an excellent training, I will say it, not to bash anybody, because she was just doing what she knew.
Right.
But yeah, we were using 0.25 J curls and we were told never to get the lashes wet. Ever. No cleaning, right? Like just put goggles on in the shower, goggles on in the hot tub. Obviously, red flags started going off pretty quickly for me. Like, no, this is a mucous membrane. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to keep all of those clean. But yeah, it was instantly, I went from, I only want to do laser to book me all the lash appointments. I just want to do lashes. And I was determined to be good because I loved the process of it. Like I liked the challenge of it and like getting the direction perfectly straight and like we had very few options for lashes, but like, okay, well, if I move the lashes in like the longer ones in this way on this eye, it looks different. we were, it was all just trial and error at that point,
Still
but
learning. Yep.
yeah, because we didn't learn anything about styling. It was just like, here's the lashes, you just put them on. But
Yep.
I was determined. And then that didn't last long before I started taking more.
I'm not
More
surprised.
classes. I was like, I need more. And then, yeah, shortly after that, within the year, my husband had an opportunity to move to Vancouver, which is like the big city in BC. And I was like, yes, because then I won't step on any toes. I'm not going to offend anybody starting my own business in the same town. And I could start my own business. I knew I always wanted to have my own business. I thought it would be laser tattoo removal because that's kind of what I was like veering toward, or like I had an interest in. But that's quite a hefty startup. So lashes was it.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what a cool story.
Yeah.
You seem a very determined go-getter. It seems like your personality.
Yes. And when I hyper focus on things, I tend to hyper focus on things that I really love or am interested in. And yeah, lashes just caught that attention and
meant to be.
Never finished. It's never ended.
I love it. That's awesome. So with that, you do a lot of education now and teach courses and teach educators how to become an educator, like, all that. So how did you decide to become an educator, and how did you know you were quote unquote ready?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you're ever like ready, but I was ready
That's
for
why
the
I say
challenge
quotes.
of it. Yeah. Right. I was definitely ready for the challenge of it. And that started after I competed the first time. So I came home, I got so much feedback from the judges. And I had the opportunity at the very end of the weekend. So like the final ceremony happened, Lash Wars was over. And then I had the opportunity to go to a dinner there was about 15 of us. And there were some of the judges there, some like just people I really looked up to, because at the time, like, again, it was hard to like access people. And social media wasn't huge for it yet. Like the forums didn't really exist. There was Wake Up in Your Makeup, but that was kind of analog.
Right.
Very analog. So it wasn't really like a Facebook forum like it is now, right? And I had the opportunity to sit down with about 15 lash artists who I highly respected. And after getting all the feedback from the judges and just knowing how interested I was and how much information I could take in, I think I learned more over that weekend than I had in the years prior of being a full-time working lash artist. Wow. And I just thought, you know what? I want to help share more. And because I did have good feedback, and some of it was like, oh, you're doing really good. We need more lash artists like you. And I was like, oh, well, maybe if I help teach them, then maybe we can get more good lash artists. I don't know. That was kind of like the root of it. So I came home and I started putting together a manual, but I could only put it together from what I had learned so far. So while it was probably fairly comprehensive at the time, I look back because I kept one of my first manuals. Yeah, no, it wasn't that comprehensive. I mean, it was at the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I feel like some things have evolved so much in the industry that like the trainings were good for what we knew about lashes at the time. But yeah, it wasn't as much as we know now.
No.
Which I also think that in the future, what we know now, we might also look back at that and be like, bro,
it's a joke. Yeah.
And I've even told my students that, like, hey, what I teach you in this class might one day be outdated. So keep that in mind. Keep an open mind, keep experimenting, like don't, try things out for yourself, do your own research, because this is a very new industry still, and we're still evolving. So yeah, that's I think something that's good to point out.
Oh, absolutely. It is ever evolving. Like it is never going to stop. It's still such a new industry. We're 23 years in. Were they invented in, I think they were invented in 99.
Yep.
In
Early
Korea.
2000s. Yep.
Yeah. So like it's a very new industry. We know so little still. I mean, you still look on the forums, people are still asking or still posting, you can't get your lashes wet for 24 to 48 hours. Like there's
Yeah.
still, outdated misinformation happening all the time. So I feel like as soon as you feel like you know it all, you will never learn again. And that is toxic, right? It's so
Yeah.
dangerous because it is always evolving. We can always learn more.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And at least in my experience, when I was putting together my manual for my courses, my curriculum, I was like questioning everything I thought I knew too. It was like, wait, why do I like, where did I learn this from? And is this actually how it is? And, continuing to do research on it and just learn more with that. So I think even when you do become an educator, your journey keeps going even further and I think deeper too, your knowledge.
Way deeper.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're really into it and you're really trying to put the best information in your courses and things, I think you just really learn it on such a deeper level for sure.
Yeah. And you have to understand that if you are taking on the responsibility of teaching other people, those people are then going to spread the information that you gave them. So
Mm-hmm.
you are responsible for that like spider web effect, right? For
Yes.
that butterfly effect. And so if you're not taking it seriously, you could just kind of throw something together and then that information is going to keep getting spread around. So, or misinformation.
Right. Well, and not only that, but they might leave after your training and kind of go out into the lash world on their own and join groups or talk to people, network, take other courses and be like, wait, what I learned in this first training maybe wasn't that great, or maybe it wasn't very accurate, or, they might look back on it, because once they start learning more themselves and being immersed in the industry more and talking to other people, if what you're teaching in your course is not really up to par, they're going to know at some point and they're going to look back and like really rate that experience of, hey, was this, how was this experience really? How was this course really? So,
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's us, our responsibility as the educator to really do our due diligence to make sure that what we're teaching is really like as
High
legit
level.
as you can get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Too legit to quit.
Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one that just thought that in my head too. I love it. So I think this kind of plays into my next question for you, what we've been talking about with, is there more to educating than people realize? And if yes, why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. I think to become an
Oh my
effective
gosh.
educator, you need to understand how to like deliver or transfer all of your knowledge and your skills to any kind of learner. And I think
Yes.
that's a huge gap that's missing for people is they're a really good lash artist. Awesome, amazing. We want more people like you. So you
Mm-hmm.
are someone who should be educating. But are you educating yourself now on how to be an effective educator? When I first started teaching, there was nothing available like that, right? I could have gone to college and gone to teaching school or like teacher's college. My
Right.
dad was a teacher. My dad was a teacher his whole career. He taught grade 4 his whole career. And so I was raised by a teacher. So I kind of think I already had a little bit of that like inherently or just learned maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I always enjoyed being in like a kind of not a mentor role, but like even working in restaurants, right? You're teaching someone a new skill, or I'm teaching someone to bartend. I really enjoyed the process of teaching someone a new skill. And I kind of always had that in the back of my mind, but I truly dislike school. It's
You
a
know,
little bit of
that's okay. That's all right.
yeah,
I'm sure there's others out there like that.
right. I mean, if we're being honest, I actually didn't graduate high school. I, at the time, was making poor choices and I felt like I had better things to do than sit here and learn things I was never going to use. Now, in doing that, I missed I think the most important lesson is to finish what you start and what you're expected to do. I think that's like the main takeaway from high school, because a lot of the stuff we don't actually learn, right? We don't, or not learn, we don't actually implement in our daily lives as adults.
Right.
But I had to learn that lesson the hard way much later in life. And that made things a little more difficult for me in life.
But you learned from it, and
Totally. And
you
then I
are who
had
you are
to,
because of that.
yeah. And then I had to do all kinds of upgrading so that I could go to college, because I did want to go to college when I finally matured. So I did go to college like when I was 25, almost 26. And I did really well because I was at a place in time where I wanted to do it. I was ready to do it. It wasn't easy because at that point, like I had a mortgage, I worked full time. So now you're taking on this like full-time college
Yeah.
thing on top of it. But yeah, so getting back to, you have to take on the responsibility of learning how to effectively teach other people and like transfer your skills and knowledge to them in the way that they learn, and
Right.
understanding that everyone learns in a different way. So when you're structuring a course, you really need to have elements of each learning style in the course so that you can be as effective as possible.
Yes. 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 I think I first had my eyes open to that concept when I took the instructor's test in Utah. So in Utah, you have to have an instructor's license to be able
I
to
love
teach
it.
courses. And so what that test, and even I was just talking to my sister about this because she's wanting to go take her instructor's course soon, or sorry, her instructor's test soon. And I was like, because she was like nervous to go take it. She's like, is it going to be like about hair color and stuff? Because I don't remember that. I learned that years ago. And I'm like, no, like it's this instructor's test is all about like teaching styles and actually being a teacher and the education side of things. And like, how do you sit the students? Like, how should you have them sit? Like in a circle or in, I don't even remember all of them myself, but like how, what seating arrangement to have for the best way for them to learn a certain concept. And so that's really what opened my eyes to, oh, like, okay, yeah, like there are different, like that's something I feel like I knew, but like there are different teaching styles and there are, different ways to be presenting the materials for different types of learners. And I think a good way to, like a good comparison for this or something to really help this hit home too is like, because I think most people are pretty familiar with like different types of love languages, right? So there's 5 different love languages, and that's how people receive love. And sometimes if someone's like a words of affirmation and you're like showering them with gifts, I'm a words of affirmation for sure too, but like you're showering them with gifts, they might not like be receiving love to the fullest capacity that they could. And I think that that's the same thing with teaching. Like if you're teaching in a different way than is like, if they're like a visual learner and you're doing a lot of like hands-on or something, like they're still going to learn probably some from that, but it's not going to be as effective as it could if you were including those visual components in your curriculum. And so
Exactly.
that for me was like, I started, so that when I took that test and I was like, hey, before I can really start teaching again and like do this curriculum, I need to do more research on this and learn more about this myself, because when I worked for a lash franchise studio, they had me training people, which I now think like maybe not might not have been the most legal thing in the state of Utah, but I did not know that at the time. I was brand new in the industry and just doing what my boss told me to do. But had been teaching and I absolutely did not like it, because I had to teach their way, their curriculum, and I didn't believe in the way that they did things, their technique. Honestly didn't believe in their products. Like it was so difficult, and it did, like, just being forced in that capacity didn't make me love it. So being able to do it in my own way later on really made a huge difference for me. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's everything. Yeah.
yeah, that, being able to teach in the way that people learn best is such a huge part that I totally agree is very overlooked
Yeah.
as educators for sure. So did you run into any struggles as you got your education program started?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yep.
That's why I created this new program. Yes. Because there is so much more than just putting a manual together. And at the time, I didn't know that. So I put my manual together, and I mean, I will say it was like an 80-page manual, which at the time seemed really good. And there were very few pictures in it. It was just a lot of text. It was like kind of like a textbook. Because at the time I was like, okay, so I'm just going to write all this out and they're going to read it and they'll understand it. And then we're going to do the hands-on. So I would actually just sit with them. I would only have 1 or 2 people at a time for the first couple of classes. And I would just sit and they would hold their manuals and I would just talk. That's not great. So
we all
then,
start somewhere.
I know. Yes. Yes. And I will say, like, most of the girls who took my first classes are still lash artists and enjoying it. So, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but there's definitely better ways to do it.
Right.
And then understanding like how you're going to deliver it, how you're going to structure your classes. Nobody's doing any of this for you if you're doing it on your own. And if you haven't taken an excellent class yourself to like draw from that experience, then you're just kind of making it up as you go. Like, what are all the supporting documents that you need? You need to figure out a training schedule for how you're going to put it all together, how you're going to actually like structure each day of the class. How many days are you going to do? Are you doing like a 1-day classic volume, mega volume? Please don't do that.
I know.
I'm just going to beg, please don't do that. What are your kits going to be consisting of? What is that going to cost you? Do you understand how to build the cost of that kit into the cost of your class? How are you going to feed them while they're with you? Are you going to have it catered? Are you going to order from Skip the Dishes? Are you going to make food yourself and hope for the best?
Option.
Right? Evaluation forms. How are you then getting across to your students how they've done? And how are you evaluating them based on what you've seen from them in class? Because that's really important. If they're not getting feedback from you and they're just kind of flapping in the breeze, then they don't know what they need to fix and what they don't need to fix. So sending them home with some kind of an evaluation, like at the end, is really, really effective tool to help them grow and be better, like really quickly. Contracts. You have to come up with contracts. I didn't know that at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, sure, give me your money. I'll teach you. That's not awesome. So like you have to go to a lawyer and you have to get contracts made up. If you're going to be a more effective educator, you need more than a manual. You need presentation slides. How are you going to deliver those? Are you going to do it in person or are you going to do it online? If you're going to do it online, you have to have an online platform. Do you know how to do that? Right? You have to put together quizzes and exams for them, or you should put together like a quiz or an exam for them for the practical theory part of it. You have to put together and film detailed videos. Like so much of this stuff, I just didn't understand. I didn't know how to do it all. It's been interesting. So keeping all of your registration information like organized and together. Who are your students? What is their contact info? All of their, if you're having them send in case studies, if you're not spending enough time in person with them for them to effectively pass your class, are you then having them send in case studies and having to review them? How are you doing that? All the different things. Yeah.
Having all the processes for all the things.
Yeah. That's all the things that I struggled with. Honestly, it was, I didn't realize how much work was involved in putting it all together. I thought it was just write down everything you know and then show them how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And with that, I think it's a lot of just starting where you're at, and it can continue to get better. And okay, so this didn't work out so well with this training, so I'm going to change it and try this other way this next time. That's been a lot of my experience with it too. Is just like, okay, I didn't love how this format of it went or the structure of the class went, so I'm going to tweak this and update it and like kind of change it to fit not just like how they're, how they're going to learn best, of course, is something, but also how you can present the materials the best too. Because one thing that I struggled with that was unexpected for me was just the absolute just energy dump that it is, especially if you are spending all day long talking and presenting and, teaching. And then at the end of the day, like I just was like so drained that
You're
I was like,
drained.
I did not know it was going to be like that. And I was like, I need to maybe change a little bit of this and restructure this a bit to be where I can still give my students my all without feeling like just absolutely dead battery by the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
And especially as a mom, like when I started doing this, I didn't have kids yet.
mhm.
So it was a very different
Yeah,
situation than
yeah.
after, like moving
And then you got
forward.
to go home to your kids and take care of your kids, and yeah, that is a lot. So that was my big struggle for sure when I first started myself.
Yeah.
And so if you could go back and do anything differently, from when you first got started educating, what would it be? I'm sure there might be multiple of these, but if you could pick like even just one or two of them.
Finding an educator comprehension program
I love
because
it.
they're available now,
I was gonna say, I love that they're available now. Like that was the next
right?
thing I was gonna say. Like those are a thing now.
Yep, they are. And that honestly, because so I started teaching January of 2016. In December of 2017 was when I found out about the NALA educator. At the time, it was called the Educator Certification Course. And the second I heard about it, I was like, done, sign me up. Where am I going? And it was like 3 weeks away. And I was like, yes. Said to my husband, I gotta go.
Love it.
You're
So
cool
for
for a couple
anyone,
days?
yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what NALA is, can you just give like a little brief explanation of that organization?
Yeah. So it's National Association of Lash Artists. And I believe they're in like 28 countries now, or
Amazing.
they have members in 28 countries. And it's just an association that tries to level up the standards in the industry. So if you're a NALA membership or if you're a NALA member, there are certain requirements that you need to meet in order to continue your membership. And that just shows other people who are kind of looking for either a lash artist or an educator that you are going to get a really high standard of either application or education. They say their like tagline is that it's like having a Michelin star in the lash industry.
I love that.
Yeah. Took that course. And at the time I had been teaching for pretty much 2 years. And I only took like 3 months off with my son. So in Canada, we actually get either 1 year or 18 months maternity leave. It's
So
different if you're
jealous.
self-employed. I know.
Painfully
You
jealous of
guys,
that.
yeah. We often talk about our neighbors to the south when it comes to maternity leave and all kinds of like female stuff. And it's just, yeah, that needs to be better because those first, I can't imagine having to leave at 6 weeks and go back to a full-time job and like leave this precious little person who can barely hold their head up.
So hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so thankful I only had to do that with my first, and I
Nice.
got 12 weeks off, but none of it was paid.
Yeah.
And the
That's
12
crazy.
weeks was so FMLA leave, family, I don't know what it stands for. Basically, you get 12 weeks off unpaid, but that you'll be able to come back to your job at the end of that 12 weeks. So
Yeah. And so ours is like a base pay. I mean, I guess it's a little bit socialist, but we're definitely not socialist. But it is a social program that is available for pretty much anyone who puts into the system can take out of it. It is a little different for self-employed people. But even my husband, like after my son was born, my husband got 8 weeks of paid leave.
that's incredible.
Just his boss was like, hey, you need this time. He works in tech, so they have pretty good
I love
benefits
that.
with
And here's me
tech.
thinking that when my husband got 1 week paid off, that we were so lucky and oh, this is so amazing.
That is amazing. Any time
Yes,
off
it
paid is
definitely is,
amazing.
but just
But
it's like painful in comparison to what other countries get for sure.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I had been teaching for practically 2 years, like 1 month shy of 2 years at this point, and I had some stuff dialed. Like I really felt like I had after every single class that I did up until this point, and still after, I would evaluate how it went, what the structure, how it flowed, things I could do better. I asked my students, hey, I want your constructive criticism. I want you to tell me what I can do better. Don't just blow smoke up my butt and tell me I'm doing great, because I can't learn from that. I mean, I like to
Right.
hear it.
Thank
I love
you.
words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Give me a hug and tell me I am pretty.
Yeah.
You are mine.
We're the same. Okay.
Yeah. Physical touch and words of affirmation. I am all about it. So I went to this course, and how much I learned from those 2 days, I was blown away. I came home and pretty much started from scratch. I mean, I obviously added in like I kept all of my information, but I think I added 70 pages within the next couple of months. Cause I mean, I had a baby. So I didn't have a lot of time, but, I added so much information to my course in that after taking the educator comprehension course, because I just didn't understand how much should have gone into it. I took away so much from that. And so, yeah, that was a really long way of explaining that. The one thing I
That's
would
okay.
probably do better is if I was starting out today, now, I would learn from people who are already doing it
I love it.
effectively. Yeah.
Right. Yes. 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 Effectively. That is a very important aspect.
Yeah.
And so what is, well, I guess we've kind of already talked about this a bit, but what is one thing that most educators miss or leave out of their trainings that you think is really necessary for student success?
Can I do 3?
Sure.
A lot of health and safety stuff,
Yes.
like disinfection, decontamination, a lot of that stuff. I feel like it could be better in a lot of classes. Even like post cleanse or getting the lashes, understanding adhesive. Okay, I'm going to say health and safety and then adhesive knowledge.
Yes.
I feel like there needs to be just a baseline. Maybe I'll put it together. Maybe I'll put out a free adhesive comprehension, adhesive 101. I don't know.
Be just like an adhesive
Something.
add-on. Like here's all the adhesive knowledge you need to put in your training.
Yes. Yes. And take it and give it to people, because I want that people should understand. We have so few tools that we are using on a daily basis. You have to understand, and it is a serious chemical. We have to understand how to use it, how to manipulate it for our environment, and how to protect ourselves from it, which I think is so important. And then how to start a business.
Yeah.
Because if you are taking a class with the intention of being your own boss, starting your own business, well, how do you do that? It's not likely that you went to business school before you decided to become a lash artist. I know that there's some people out there that have, but I think that's a very small number.
Yeah, I started in business school and basically dropped out to go to, I want to say dropped out. I intended on finishing once I moved to Utah to go to aesthetic school, but I loved aesthetics so much that I just stuck with it and never went back. But
yeah,
there's probably not a lot of people that have done that.
Right? I know. And like the college course that I took, at the time, I was still working in restaurants, and the only thing I could imagine ever doing was working in restaurants or maybe owning one day. I always had that in the back of my mind. I'm going to own my own business and I'm going to nail it. And so the class that I took, or like the program that I took, was for hospitality management. So it was essentially a type of a business class. I actually still use a lot of the information that I learned in that program, especially for accounting stuff. And like just the principles of a lot of business stuff, costing of things, cost of goods sold, is very important to understand. So yeah, I would say like learning the steps, the basic steps on how to start and run a business. And no, it shouldn't probably be equivalent to a college business course because you're paying for a lash program, but there should be a component to it that guides you through the steps to start your own business and what you need to do in order to do that.
Yes, I agree. And especially if it's a course that is more catered towards beginners.
Yeah.
Or, starting out like beginner lash courses, beginner volume courses for sure. Because those, like, after they leave your course, they're going to want to start their own business or maybe go work for someone. Like, they're going to be out in the industry now. So how can you help set them up for success with that? I would love to see more trainings moving forward, including those aspects of it 100%.
Oh yeah. And I should have added that. You're right. So if you're taking like a mega volume class or face studies with Trina, that's my next one. I want to take that so bad.
Same. I don't even lash anymore, and it's still on my to-do list, my bucket list of courses.
Yeah. I got to meet her last year at LashCon. And like talk to her for a couple minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like meeting a celebrity.
It really, she's amazing. I met her at Lash Bash in Utah last year. She was super fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
I love her energy.
Oh. Yes. And, with that, I think, well, kind of circling back to what we were talking about with, beginner course and things is with your curriculum, kind of deciding who you want, like what you want to teach too, right? So do I want to teach beginners to beginners? Do I want to teach beginner classic, beginner volume, or is it more advanced techniques? And how do I cater that curriculum to the level of, how do I explain this the best? Like the point in the journey that student is in. Because
100%,
if it's a
your
more
client
advanced
avatar
class, if it's a more advanced class, they're going to already know all the base level things. So then you want your curriculum to cater to where they're at in their journey. So with that. So I would love to see more of the beginner courses include that business stuff. And even some of the more advanced courses, I think, could include more advanced business things or different skills that maybe you wouldn't learn in just a basic, like, here's how to start your business class.
Yeah. I would say I would love to see all even like supplementary courses, like a mega volume or a styling course or something. I would love to see adhesive knowledge.
Yes.
Proper disinfection and like just a little bit of business. It doesn't have to be like a huge thing, but I mean, and if you are taking a supplementary course, you probably already know how to run a business because you're likely doing it. But I would love to see like the adhesive knowledge and just like,
well, even here's how to market this. If it's a mega volume course, here's how to market this to clients. Here's how to build your clientele with these kinds of clients. Or like I saw Lash Ritual, they do a lot of colored lashes. She was talking about on Instagram this week, how do you get clients who want to do colored lashes? And I think that's probably, I've never taken, I don't know if they do education or if they do courses, but I would assume that could be part of like a course with them, because how do you market this to clients now? And then that could be a business aspect moving forward.
That'd be a great masterclass.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good masterclass. I would take that.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, and I think that would only continue to up the standard for not just the courses that are being taught, but just the industry as a whole too, and the business skills and things.
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Just 100%. Rise up.
So if there anyone listening or, solo lash artists, they want to become even not just lash artists, but if they wanted to become an educator, how would you recommend getting started? And you do have a retreat coming up. I believe it's in September? Am I correct on that? Okay, yes. Yeah. So you have a retreat coming up about, becoming an educator. So can you share a little bit about that with us as well? And kind of tell us about that?
Absolutely. So my newest business venture, because I don't have enough going on as it is. No,
right.
I think I've always kind of been working toward this without actually knowing that I was working toward it.
Yeah.
I thought that in the lash industry, you start as a lash artist and then you can become an educator, and then you should probably just open a salon, because those are like that's the trajectory.
Just the
Those are
next
the
step.
steps that you
Yeah.
take. And I really struggled with that because as much as I was trying to convince myself that I had to have a lash studio in order to mentor people and help build better lash artists in general. And you don't. And I finally figured that out. So with the help of one of my students, she actually approached me over a year now, and asked if I would consider letting her teach my program. Like, so she would become an educator.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
if I would somehow, some way allow her to teach my program, because she got so much out of it. She loves it. She is an incredible lash artist now. And she just started her own salon, which is so beautiful. And she's ready to become an educator. And I thought, oh, I really like her. Yeah. Yes. Like, I don't need to hoard my information. Like, I want as many people to have as much good information as possible. And I am really proud of my program. I have put so many years into this, and so much time and effort and blood and sweat and tears into this, because I really do take it seriously. I am up at night thinking about it. Right.
Yes.
And just making
that.
sure that I can be the best that I can be for my students and for my clients. And so that's how my new program came about. So my manual has always been called Principles of Lash Artistry, because when I first started out, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to call this thing? I don't know. But it was always just Glow Lashes. Like, that's my business name, is Glow Lashes and Training Academy. But my manual was always called Principles of Lash Artistry. And my husband said, that's a great name for a program because it's a little bit more generic, and it could be you're describing what it is. And I'm like, okay. So that's how POLA was born.
Amazing.
So my new program is called POLA, Principles of Lash Artistry, and it is an educator comprehension course, along with a fully done for you lash education program. So it's a licensing thing. So you would become a licensee, and you get to license everything that I use in my own education program. So you get the manual, the presentation slides, all of the supporting documents, like your quizzes, your student evaluation forms, your contracts, your intake, your consult. What else?
All of it.
All of it. Educator assessment forms, because you should also be asking your students how you can improve and what they would have liked to see done better in class for them.
Right.
I always find out what kind of learner my students are as well. And that typically can help me a little bit with getting it across to them.
Right.
And it all comes with an online classroom. So you don't have to struggle with anything. If you want to become an educator, but you are just stressed out by the thought of putting it all together, then you can license it and have it all done for you.
I love it. And that's all going to be part of the retreat, right?
Yeah. So then I am hosting it retreat style. So I also will be at the request of some people now. I am going to try to figure out how to do a non-retreat style. So like, how would you describe it? Like a distance learning type thing.
Like a online group coaching kind of type of thing.
Yeah. So it would be over the course of like 3 days, essentially. And you can log in and we can do it online. So if you can't travel to Vernon or wherever I'm going to hold the retreats, I would like to kind of travel around and do it.
That would be really cool.
I also, right?
Yeah.
I need to figure out like legal stuff for it, especially if I'm going to come into the States. I want to make sure that I understand like the legalities of each state and what you need to be an educator, because like, I can't say, oh yeah, sure, you can license it. And then I take their money and then they find out that they can't actually use it or do it.
Right.
That would be
you have to take another test or
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so different everywhere.
It's so different everywhere. So right now it's in Canada, but my plan is to do it all over, everywhere, worldwide.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love just the concept behind it too. I think it's so much different than any other type of like that kind of education. Like I've never seen anyone do it retreat style. So I think that that makes it so unique. And
Oh,
the venue you're doing
so
it
fun.
at looks absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. When you're
I
posting
can
those stories
see
about it,
that,
I was like, that looks amazing. I need
right?
that in my life.
It's just across the lake for me. So I can see like the top of it. And at night we can like see the lights
Oh my gosh,
because
that's so
it's
cool.
right. So it's called Sparkling Hill and it's in Vernon, BC here. And it is owned by the Swarovski family.
Cool.
So the entire spa is and hotel is covered in Swarovski crystals everywhere in your room,
Wow.
on the stairs, in every chandelier, in every ceiling. Like it's just breathtaking. There's beautiful pools and there's a sauna, not a sauna. There are many saunas. So there's different steam rooms and saunas that you can use. There's a hot, cold little plungy thingy. There's a
Mhm.
-110 Celsius like cold experience that you can do. I think it's like a 3-minute thing. I've never had the nerve to do it, but
Cold plunging.
it's
Must
like
be really good for you.
it's not water though. It's like you're
Oh,
in like a frozen room
oh,
and you have to just walk
interesting.
around this room.
I've only ever seen cold plunging, but that
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. That's cool.
Yeah. I can get down with the cold plunge, but that room, I don't know. It's so cool.
I mean, I already have trouble walking into the freezers at Costco, so
Right.
I don't know. I'm like, get me out of here ASAP.
The nice thing about doing a cold plunge though is I found because I was always so terrified, so terrified. But when you do it and you're finished, it's like, wait a second. Okay, I didn't die. And I actually feel really good now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
getting
love
over
it.
that and like knowing that your body can handle it and that you are in control of your breath. And yeah, anyway,
Yeah,
side
it
note.
feels good at the end of that. I feel like that's almost like birth too. Like you go through all this stuff and all the pain, and then you're at the end, you're like, I freaking did that. And then
I am
yeah,
a
it's a really cool
superhero.
feeling. Yeah, it's a really cool feeling. Really cool.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
I'm
Yeah.
learning so
So,
much today.
so the retreat is over the course of 3 days, over a weekend, and we cover everything about how to become an educator effectively. So you do get, you become a certified educator with NALA. Oh, and the best part of the program is that it's all NALA accredited. So if you license it,
Cool.
then you automatically become, if you meet the requirements, you
Right.
automatically become a NALA accredited academy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Which is a hard process. Oh my gosh, it took me so long.
Yeah, I bet.
I was just so nervous to like submit it. And I had already been teaching it. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. They're going to tell me that I'm like not good enough and I'm going to feel like I'm not supposed to be doing this. And then when I finally submit it, I had to add one paragraph. I almost was the first person to pass it on the first try.
Hey, but one paragraph isn't a lot, so kudos to
I
you,
know.
girl.
It's because I'm so hard on myself, probably.
Yeah, well, good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, your retreat sounds incredible. Super excited for you, and I can't wait to see all the pictures and how it goes and
Thank you.
such.
And I'll keep hosting them. My goal is to host about
Yeah,
4 per year.
wow, that's gonna be super fun.
Yeah.
So a little bit of, shifting gears here because
Mhm.
you're also a mom.
Yes, I am.
We love to talk about mom life on Lash Babes here. So I would love to hear a little bit because I get asked, it was even asked this recently, what the difference between my business when I was a mom doing lash services and beauty services versus when I was a mom doing education. So I wondered if you could share a little bit of your experience on that and if there has been any differences for you with your capacity of being a mom.
Yeah. So I am still a lash artist as well, a working lash artist. And then this year, because I've been working on POLA so much, I scaled back my classes a little bit. So I used to actually offer a class every 3 weeks because I found when I was transitioning from becoming a lash artist to an educator, I had that very like stunted mindset of, if I get rid of clients, what if? What's going to happen? So I was trying, right?
It's scary.
It's scary. It can be scary. And so I thought, and I had these amazing clients and I was busy. Like I was working too much. I was taking too many clients. I have better boundaries now. And I had to implement boundaries when I became a mom. I should have implemented them sooner, but I didn't. And that's fine. I learned.
That's okay.
And now I've implemented them more.
Good for you. Good job.
Thank you. It was hard to make that transition because if you think, okay, well, I'll get rid of some clients, but then what if I don't book a class? So I was trying to fit in classes in an already fully booked schedule.
Right.
So it was taking me away from my family on the weekends. And that was acceptable, I'll say, when it was just my husband and I, because we're both entrepreneurs and we both value working. We did value as working as hard as you can and then taking a big long break. And so we would like work. And then we'd go travel for a month and then work. Right. So I had to transition into being comfortable where my classes started to be consistent all the time. I put a class up and it would fill up. I put a class up and I would get students. And so I was like, okay, I have to refigure this out. So maybe 4 years ago, I transitioned from having a class week every third week and then having clients the other 2 weeks in a 3-week cycle.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I like the structure for that.
Oh, it's so much better, especially with my kids, because I know what to expect. They know what to expect. And I love the fact that they see me working and loving it. They know how much I love my job. And I will say stuff to them like, I love being with you. And they are, my son is in school. My daughter's in preschool. My son's going into grade 2 and my daughter's 4. So she has another year before she starts school. But I'll say things to them like today, for instance, right? They're at the beach with my husband and they're like, oh, mommy, why can't you come? And I said, oh, you know what? Mama gets to record a podcast. I'm so excited. And isn't it so exciting that I get to do this? And they're like, yeah. Like they can see how much it lights me up and that how much it makes me a better mom when I get to do something that I really love when I am away from them. Yeah. And so they understand, like my daughter understands, I work 4 days a week. So I work Monday through Thursday every week, but then every third week, I either have a class or a week blocked off to work on my business instead of in my business. And I still only take clients on those 2 weeks. I never let it bleed into my week that I have blocked off if I need it to. Boundaries.
I'm sure that's easier said than done sometimes.
Oh yeah. It definitely takes, because I am someone who's like, oh yeah, of course I want to get you in. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Wait, nope. Yeah. Sorry. I'd love to refer you to A, B, or C, and just understanding that it's okay that you can't get everyone in, because why would you want to get everyone in, right? Why would you want to burn yourself out and not enjoy it anymore?
Right. Well, and I think that kind of comes with the mindset of you've been trading time for money for so long.
Yep.
That if you are cutting back on clients and not taking them anymore, that you're not going to make money. And then it kind of, at least for me, it was like this, almost this scarcity mindset of like, I'm so scared to cut back on clients and really fully dedicate myself to this because that's my consistency for right now. That's what's safe. That's what I know. And it's just something new. But yeah, I think we just get scared. If I don't take clients, I'm not going to make money.
Yep.
When in reality, you're still going to make money. It's just going to be in a different way. And it's going to be something that's more flexible for you as a mom too. And I think that the way that you've structured it with the 2 weeks of clients and then the third week you do the classes, that's a really cool way because one of my really good lash friends too, she's kind of struggling with that. Like, where do I even put these classes in my schedule without taking up my mom time? So now I'm going to get off this and go call her and be like, yo, here's this cool idea.
Do
Anyway,
it.
here's this cool idea. But yeah, and I think that's a great example of you structuring your business to support the kind of life that you want to live, to be the kind of mom that you want to be, and just really, not have your business run you. Your business helps you live life how you want to and be flexible with your schedule as a mom. So I think that's incredible.
Yeah,
Amazing. Good job.
exactly. I can block out time to go to my kids' school functions or appointments. Like I can be there and present for all of it while still getting to enjoy my business and my clients and my students and the whole
That's
journey
amazing.
of life.
I love it so much. So, as we wrap up here, one question I'm asking all my guests lately is
I know what you're going to ask me.
what books are you reading right now? Because I've been on a really big book kick the last like 2 years, and I selfishly want to pick everyone's brain on what they're reading to add to my list. So anything that you've been reading or anything that you have loved, like a book that you've loved that's been really beneficial or life-changing for you?
Yeah. So I have not made reading a priority in my life since becoming a mom, quite honestly. I used to read quite a bit. So I listen to a ton of podcasts. And actually most of my clients have transitioned into wanting to listen to podcasts.
I love that.
I know. So, and it also cuts down on some chatter, which can, make eyes flutter and things like that. So it's great. It's a win-win all around. I can learn something. I really like kind of self-help-y podcasts ish.
Yeah, me too.
Ish. Love Mel Robbins. She is golden. I really like some Lash podcasts, like the Lash Business Lounge. It's Lauren Lappin. She's in Australia. Beauty and the Business is Kimberly Haworth. I always want to say Hayworth, and it's Haworth, I think. She's actually my business coach as well.
Oh, I love it.
And she's just started a podcast, and it's been good. There's only a couple episodes so far. Also, Jesse and Kara from Lashline, Jesse Love and Kara Kapler, if you know who they are, from Lashline in Edmonton.
Yes.
They just started a podcast, and it's twofold uncensored. Oh my gosh. I listened to the first 2 episodes and I was like, dudes, I messaged each of them, keep it coming. That was, I'm covered in goosebumps. It's not super business, but they're 2 entrepreneurs.
Right.
Who are also talking about like personal stuff, kind of relating to business and how it affects your business. But like, if you think about it, what my business coach always says, you have to work on the person because the person is running the business. If you're not working on the person running the business, then your business is going to fail. And it's so true. Armchair Expert is like my guilty pleasure. I love it so much. If you know that one.
I have not listened to that one.
I'm a total armchair.
Looking up some of these ones that you're saying because that sounds incredible.
Yeah. And Lashcast. I was listening to Lashcast.
Yes, that's a
true
classic.
So yeah.
I'm excited. We get to meet in person at LashCon this year.
Right? I am so pumped.
I can't wait. I'm gonna meet so many just Instagram friends, and I can't wait. So with that, I'm just going to put in a little plug for our Lash Biz Babes meetup on that Saturday morning at LashCon. I think it's the 14th. I don't know, whatever Saturday is. We're going to do brunch. So if you guys have not already RSVP'd and you're going to be there, I'm going to put the RSVP link in the show notes so you can, I just need to get a head count. But yeah, that's
I need to RSVP.
I actually have you on my list already.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll be there.
Anyone who's told me that they're interested, I've added you to my list already. So you're good. Love it. So any last words of advice or guidance that you want to share about anything?
Ooh. If you are a lash artist and you get a kind of not a kick, like if you are really excited about, how do I want to say this? Like adding to the lash industry, building the lash industry and helping new artists who are coming in, then you're the kind of person that should be an educator. If you value the health of the natural lash, do that more. We need so many people like that. And reach out to people that you admire and ask them if they would coach you. And don't expect anything for free, but obviously people are willing to help. But find a coach that you really resonate with, or find lash artists to follow or lash educators to follow who you really resonate with, and just keep learning. Always, always, always learn. That's how I finish my lash program, is to just encourage. Like, I'm only one person. I only know what I know. I don't know what Sally knows, or I don't know what whoever else, Susie knows, right? You have to keep learning, and everyone is going to give you information in their way. And that might actually sink in a little bit better than when I said the same thing, right? So just always learn, always grow, and don't ever feel like you know everything, because then you'll never learn again.
Yep. Yep. I love that you were saying, it might sink in differently, even though you've heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
I think every educator, every mentor, every person in our industry brings something different to the table. Even if it's similar things that you're learning or similar things that you're teaching, you might think, oh, someone else is already teaching that. Why should I, I'm not, they're already doing it. But at the end of the day, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. We all have different perspectives. And you are bringing something different to the table with that. You'll present it differently. You'll have different energy behind it. You'll have different experiences to share along with it. And you're going to have students and, clients even who just resonate with that differently.
Yeah.
And it's going to hit home in a different way. You're going to be able to relate to people in different ways. And because of that, you always bring something unique to the table, and there's room for all of us here. So
I was just going to say, we are all so unique.
Yes. Yeah, we are very much so.
Yeah.
This was so fun.
All right.
Going on.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting. I just love it so much. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Oh, I know. Me too. It's going to be so much fun. I get to meet so many Instagram friends. And
yeah.
I'm excited for your retreat. I can't wait to see how that goes. So where can they find you online to connect with you?
Oh, yeah. So my Instagram is Liz Bussey _lash coach. My last name is Bussey. Perfect. And my website is glowlashes.ca.
And I'm going to put her links in the show notes so that you can get more information about her retreat. You can follow her on Instagram. She posts all kinds of great tips and tricks and guidance on there as well. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.